The game just changed. In January 2025, a Chinese startup dropped an artificial intelligence model that shocked the world. Within days, it toppled ChatGPT as the most downloaded free app in the United States. Stock markets plummeted by $1 trillion. One of Silicon Valley's biggest investors called it one of the most amazing breakthroughs ever. The US president called it a wake-up call. Tech analysts described it as an AI Sputnik moment. What is DeepSeek, and why did this company suddenly become a threat to the entire American tech establishment? The rise of a Chinese AI powerhouse. DeepSeek was founded in July 2023 by Liang Wenfeng, a wealthy hedge fund manager from Hangzhou, China. For most of its first year, the company operated quietly in the background. In December 2024, everything shifted. The company released DeepSeek V3, a 671 billion parameter model, using a mixture of experts' architecture that activates only needed parts for any task, making it incredibly efficient. Then came January 2025. DeepSeek launched R1, a reasoning model matching OpenAI's most advanced systems, but it came completely free and open source, meaning anyone could download, modify, and run it. OpenAI controlled access to proprietary APIs with paid subscriptions. DeepSeek released work under MIT licenses, saying the world could use it freely. Within 24 hours, DeepSeek replaced ChatGPT on the iOS App Store. By January 27th, the shockwave hit financial markets, wiping nearly $1 trillion from US tech stocks. Nvidia alone dropped 18%. The efficiency advantage, what made this shocking, was the cost. DeepSeek claimed it trained V3 for just $6 million. OpenAI's GPT-4 cost around $100 million. DeepSeek did it using roughly 1/10 the computing power while operating under strict export controls, limiting access to advanced semiconductors. The entire training consumed only 2.788 million GPU hours, with just 500 specialized GPUs running for 80 hours at a compute cost estimated under $300,000. How did DeepSeek outpace the most well-funded labs in the world? Clever engineering. DeepSeek used advanced attention mechanisms and training strategies designed for resource constraints. The company trained their system on approximately 14.8 trillion tokens, establishing a knowledge foundation. This efficiency proved that sometimes limitations drive innovation and breakthrough thinking. The performance showdown. On mathematics benchmarks, DeepSeek R1 matched OpenAI's O1 model, achieving over 90% on the American Invitational Mathematics examination. The Wall Street Journal found OpenAI's O1 sometimes solved problems slightly faster, but DeepSeek's accuracy and reasoning depth were genuinely competitive. API pricing was strategically set at $1.10 per million input tokens, dramatically undercutting OpenAI. This made frontier-grade AI accessible to researchers who previously could not afford it. In March 2025, DeepSeek released V3.2.4, a refined version. By August, V3.1 matched OpenAI's latest GPT-5 on several benchmarks, surpassing earlier versions by 40% on specialized benchmarks like SWN Bench. This continuous improvement demonstrated DeepSeek was not a one-trick pony, but a serious research organization with genuine technical capabilities. The geopolitical earthquake. The implications extended far beyond technology into military strategy, economic competition, and national security thinking. For years, American policymakers assumed that export controls on advanced semiconductors would keep China perpetually behind in artificial intelligence development. DeepSeek demolished that assumption. Here was a Chinese company building world-class AI models while operating under the very restrictions designed to prevent exactly this outcome. Intelligence officials and military strategists suddenly had to reconsider their entire approach to tech competition with China. If a startup could match American capabilities while handicapped by chip restrictions, what would happen if those restrictions were lifted? The national security implications caused immediate concern. The U.S. House Select Committee on Strategic Competition with China convened to investigate. Senate inquiries followed. Some policymakers argued that export controls needed to be strengthened immediately. DeepSeek's CEO told an interviewer mid-2024 that chips, not funding, were the limiting factor. This statement haunted American policymakers who had bet everything on export controls as the solution to technological competition. In the months after the January launch, American tech companies reassessed their strategies. OpenAI's CEO acknowledged that competition from Chinese open-source models influenced his company's decision to release open-weight versions of their own systems. If Chinese models dominated the open-source ecosystem, he reasoned, the entire global AI industry would build on top of Chinese technology. That prospect was unacceptable to American tech leaders. The competitive pressure forced a fundamental shift in how American companies approached their business models and research release strategies. The business model revolution, DeepSeek's approach, represented something radically different from the American model that had dominated the industry. OpenAI built a company around proprietary models available only through paid APIs or subscription services like ChatGPT+. Users paid $20 monthly for enhanced access. Enterprises paid significantly more for commercial integration. DeepSeek released their models freely under permissive MIT licenses. This meant researchers could download and modify the code without permission or payment. Developers could deploy it anywhere without restrictions or licensing fees. Universities could integrate it into their systems for research and education. Startups could build products on top of it commercially. This openness created an ecosystem of innovation that older proprietary models could not match. The strategy worked spectacularly. Within months, other Chinese AI companies followed suit. Alibaba accelerated its Qwen model releases, which already had 600 million cumulative downloads before DeepSeek's breakthrough. ByteDance, the company behind TikTok, launched competing open-source systems. Tencent and Baidu both announced aggressive open-source initiatives. Companies like Z.AI and Minimax jumped into the space with competitive models. The entire competitive landscape, Chinese companies claimed they had now achieved outright superiority in the open-source AI space, and the data supported the claim. On Hugging Face, a major platform for sharing AI models, Chinese open-source models dominated the download rankings. The resulting price war benefited developers and researchers worldwide, though it concerned American companies worried about losing market share. The controversy and accusations, not everyone welcomed this development. In February 2025, over a year after DeepSeek's breakthrough launch, OpenAI released allegations that the Chinese company had improperly used its systems to train competing models. OpenAI accused DeepSeek employees of using techniques to circumvent access restrictions and extract outputs from proprietary systems through third-party routers. These outputs were then used in a process called distillation, where the extracted information trains smaller, cheaper models. The memo, sent to the U.S. House Select Committee, alleged that DeepSeek engineers had developed code specifically to access American AI models and obtain outputs for distillation in programmatic ways. OpenAI claimed DeepSeek used third-party routers to mask the source of their access attempts. DeepSeek did not respond directly to these allegations, continuing to focus on releasing updated systems. Some analysts questioned the timing of OpenAI's accusations, noting they came just ahead of anticipated DeepSeek announcements during Lunar New Year celebrations. The conflict highlighted growing tensions between American and Chinese technology companies operating in this newly competitive space. It also underscored deeper concerns about intellectual property, model security, and the rules governing AI development in a globally competitive landscape. Scientists now had access to powerful reasoning models. Researchers at universities worldwide could download and modify models to suit specific research needs, or if open-source alternatives served their needs adequately. The competitive pressure forced American companies to reconsider their pricing strategies, now realized it was necessary to maintain market relevance that could handle complex, multi-step tasks on behalf of users with minimal human direction. These systems would learn and improve from their actions, but how both countries will coexist in a landscape where multiple frontier AI powers exist simultaneously, each pursuing different strategies and philosophies about how advanced AI should be developed and distributed